Welcome students. We are going to discuss class 7 chapter 1 of the NCERT mathematics textbook. This chapter is on integers. What are we going to learn? We will do a review of numbers that you have already studied in class 6. Next, we will discuss number lines. We will then learn how to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication and the division operator with integers. We will also learn something called BODMAS. This tells you how to do divide, multiplication, addition and subtraction when they come in a single formula. BODMAS is not in your book, but it's a very interesting concept to learn. We will also learn the properties of certain operators on integers. We will learn about closure under addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We will also learn how identity is satisfied under addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We will learn similarly the commutative, associative and distributive properties of these operations. These are some numbers that you have already studied in class 6. You have already covered natural numbers or counting numbers, which go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and so on. These are used in real life in order to count objects. Like for example, you go to the shop and you buy some toffees. You want to count how many toffees you got. You start from the number 1. Similarly, you go out and you see a flock of birds sitting on the tree and you want to count how many birds are there. You start from 1 and go 1, 2, 3, 4. These are natural numbers or counting numbers. Whole numbers are natural numbers plus the digit 0. Integers are whole numbers plus the negative digits -1, -2, -3, -4 and so on. You would have also studied fractions, and there are 3 types of fractions. Proper fractions, which are of this type. These are some examples: 2 by 5, -1 by 4, 1 by 6 and so on. Mixed fractions, which are written in this fashion: 1, 2 by 5, 7, 3 by 4, 8, 1 by 6 and so on. You also studied improper fractions, where the numerator is larger than the denominator. For example, here the numerator is 7 and the denominator is 5. You also studied decimals, which are like this. For example, the fraction 2 by 5. See this fraction 2 by 5 is actually 0.4 in decimal notation. -1 by 4 is equal to -0.25 in the decimal notation. 7 by 5 can be written as 1.4 and so on. There are also some special decimals called recurring decimals. You may not have studied these, but these are decimals where some of the digits are repeating. For example, ask your parents what 1 by 6 is, or try to find out from your friends what is 1 by 6. Or you yourself can divide 1 with 6 and see what the result would be. You will notice that the answer is 0.1 followed by 6, and this 6 keeps repeating itself, and this is written in this format: 0.16 with a bar on top of the 6. Similarly, 49 by 6 is 8.16666 and so on. The last digit 6 keeps repeating itself, and this can be written as 8.16 with a bar on top of the 6. You have also studied some operations on numbers. You have studied addition, subtraction, multiplication and division for integers. And you have also studied addition and subtraction of decimal numbers. Let us look at a few examples. Here we are adding 346 to the number 25, and the answer is 371. Look at this, we are subtracting 25 from 346. The answer is 321. And we are multiplying 346 by 19, and this is how you do it. The answer is 6574. Similarly, how do we divide 346 by 2? This is the process. How do we divide 346 by 4? When you do a division of 346 by 4, you get a quotient of 86 and a remainder of 2. Incidentally, this number can also be represented as a decimal. We will leave that to you to find out. You have learnt decimal addition and decimal subtraction. How do we add 25.2 to 4.9? The answer is 30.1. Adding 58.4 to 1.2, the answer comes out to be 59.6. It will be a good idea for you to try practicing some of the operations that you have already studied. These are some operations with integer numbers. These are operations with decimals. And here we have some problems that involve fractions. We have now finished the review of numbers. I hope that you've already gone through the practice questions and have gotten most of them right. Let us now look at the number line. Number lines look like this. Here we have a straight line with arrows on both ends, and there are these markers which have certain digits written right under them. For example, see, this marker has the digit 0, this marker has the digit 1, 2, 3 and so on. This one has the digit -1, this one has the digit -2 and so on. Number lines allow you to see the relationship between numbers. On the number line, numbers on the left side are smaller than numbers on the right side. Can you see these tiny marks? The value between each of these tiny marks is called a unit. In this particular number line, this unit, the value of the numbers between these two, is equal to 1. Remember, we mentioned that number lines allow you to see the relationship between numbers. And we also told you that numbers on the left side are smaller than numbers on the right side. So can you answer, is -3 smaller than 0? Let us see where -3 is located. -3 is here. And 0 is here. -3 is to the left side of 0 on the number line. So yes, -3 is smaller than 0. Is 4 bigger than 7? Let us see where 4 is. 4 is here and 7 is here. 4 is to the left of 7. So the answer is no. 4 is smaller than 7. It is not bigger than 7. Now let's answer a few more questions. What is the number that occurs 3 units after 2? Remember, we told you that between these two small lines are units of a number line. So what is the number occurring 3 units after 2? Let's find that out. Let's count the number of units after 2. So this is the number 2 right here. 1 unit after 2 will take us to 3. The second unit takes us to 4. And the third unit takes us to 5. So 3 units after 2, we get the number 5. Now let us find out what is the number occurring 5 units before 2. Now where is the number 2? The number 2 is here. Now 5 units before means we have to go towards the left. So here's unit number 1, then unit number 2, 3, 4 and 5. So if we travel 5 units to the left of 2, that means before 2, we get to -3. So the answer is yes, -3. Now let us try to answer what is the number exactly between -1 and 3. Where is -1 in the number line? It's here. And where is 3 in the number line? The number 3 is here. Now let's see how many units are there between minus 1 and 3. There are 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 units between minus 1 and 3. So what is the number that comes exactly between minus 1 and 3? If you divide 4 by 2, we will get half of that. So there are 2 units after minus 1, and 2 units before 3 would be the exact center between minus 1 and 3. Let's see where that falls. The central number between minus 1 and 3 is 1, because 1 is at a distance of 2 units from minus 1. It is at a distance of 2 units from 3. Therefore, it is exactly at the center. So the number in between minus 1 and 3 is 1. So that is how, using number lines, you can see the relationship between numbers, and you can find out which numbers are between two different numbers, which numbers are far away from certain numbers, and how far they are from the number that you are looking at. The units in a number line can represent smaller or larger values also. For example, in this number line, each unit was representing the value 1. So the value between 4 and 5 is 1. The value between these two units is 1, and so on and so forth. But look at this number line. In this number line, each unit, or the value between these two markers, is 2. Look at this number line. The value between these two markers is 0.5. So each unit is representing the value 0.5. It is also possible that each unit in a number line represents a fraction. For example, look at this number line. If you look at the positive side and you go from 0 to here, this value is 1 by 3. When you go from this unit to this unit, the value changes to 2 by 3. But the difference between these values is 1 by 3. So each unit is representing the value 1 by 3. Look at this number. This is 3 by 3. This is 4 by 3. This is 5 by 3, and so on. So every unit is showing an increase of 1 by 3 as we travel in this direction. Similarly, if we travel in the opposite direction, that means the negative side of the number line, you can see that the values are minus 1 by 3, minus 2 by 3, minus 3 by 3, and so on. So as you go in this direction, each unit is decreasing by the value of 1 by 3. So 7 by 3, and you go to 6 by 3. 6 by 3 is 1 by 3 times less than 7 by 3, and so on and so forth. Look at this number line. Each unit is still representing the value 1 by 3, but notice that some of the numbers next to these markers have changed. So here you have a 0, but here you have a 1. Why is that? This number line is exactly similar to this number line. Each unit here is also representing 1 by 3. But if you notice, 3 divided by 3 is 1, and therefore we have written a 1 here. Similarly, 6 divided by 3 is 2. Therefore we have written a 2 here. It is also possible for you to write some of the numbers on the number line as mixed fractions. So for example, these numbers can be converted into mixed fractions. Why don't you write a number line containing mixed fractions? As a practice assignment, draw this number line and convert these numbers into mixed fractions. So far, we have seen number lines that were containing both positive and negative numbers. But it is also possible that a number line may contain only positive or only negative numbers. For example, look at this number line. This number line contains only positive values. There are no negative numbers here, and it also does not have the value 0. It starts with the value 4 and it is ending with the value 23. Similarly, this number line has only negative values. It does not contain the value 0. Starts with minus 31 and it is ending with minus 17.